Hey guys, this is Gabriel Lorenzi, creator of the blog Grupo Dicas, one of the biggest travel blogs in the world, and today I am here to tell you how to set up your complete trip to Greece. It's a very nice video that we made, a step-by-step explaining everything you need to know to set up your complete trip, and of course with the best services, with the best tips, and saving a lot on everything. You will travel much cheaper, so stay tuned because these tips will be quick, useful, and not boring at all, guys. So give us a like if you like the video, subscribe to the channel because that helps us a lot, and buckle up. Well, Greece is the dream of many people. Many people dream of knowing this country that's sensational. We dreamed about it and we got to know it, and it's really great. It's very different from the others and has a natural beauty that you can't compare with any other place in the world. So we decided to make this step-by-step video to show you everything you need to plan your trip to Greece. But it's really everything. You will see that we included all the items, everything you need to know, tips, how to plan, and so on. A very complete video, and after you finish watching this video, for sure you will know how to plan your entire trip the best way. The first item you have to analyze is the amount of days. That's the first thing. You need to define how many days to dedicate to Greece. We recommend you to stay at least 8 days. That's the time you need to get to know at least Athens. We always dedicate 1 or 2 days. That's the place where you will arrive because the airport is in Athens, so you will probably arrive in Athens. And from there, you go to the island. So 2 days to Athens, you stop about 3 days for each island. With 8 days, you can visit at least 2 islands and Athens. But the ideal is that if you can stay a little longer. We stayed and visited a third island, so you end up staying about 12 days. But it depends on who wants to visit 2 countries together. Sometimes you do Italy and Greece, you can't stay that long. But if you stay at least 8 days, you will already know a lot of Greece separately, exactly how many days in each place. We have a video, check it out. We have a video of the ideal itinerary for Greece that we made showing how many days to stay on each island, the route and everything, but it's at least 8 days. We think this is the perfect amount for you to stay in Greece. And now we go to the tips on how to set up your whole trip. The tips that we're going to give you now are very similar to how to save a lot on your trip to Greece. So if you've already seen this video on how to save money, you don't need to watch this one again. And if you haven't seen it, stay tuned now because the video is really good. You're going to love it. The first tip that will make you save the most in Greece is without a doubt the season, the month in which you will travel there. For those who don't know, in all of Europe, the European summer is the high season, especially in Greece where there are beaches, islands. So the months of July and August are the months with the highest season and are much more expensive. If you travel during this month, you will have to spend more. You will enjoy the summer more. It's more crowded, but it's also much more crowded. So in our opinion, the best months are September, which is the end of summer, but still hot. You can enjoy the beaches and everything's much cheaper. Or April, May, and June. That's still good weather. You enjoy everything and the price is much cheaper. But try to avoid July and August if you don't want so much movement and higher prices. So avoid the high season for that. Now talking about the first item that you have to book for your trip is the airfare. There's no way. And airfare is one of the most expensive items, yes. So our tip is research a lot, research all airlines. It's kind of obvious tip, but it's the one that makes the biggest difference. There are tools that comparing all companies. We use a site a lot. I'll leave the link here below in the description of the video. You click on the little arrow in the description of the video will open with all the links that I mentioned. I'll leave it all organized for you. There's a very good airline tickets comparator that always finds promotions. It searches in all airlines, so it already finds a better price on some of them. Then you go to the one with the best price, analyze it truly. There are many flights to Greece. From some places there are no flights at all. Usually we will have to stop in some city, usually Italy or Paris, but there are many tickets, so you can research a lot. And some quick tips for tickets: try to look for tickets from Monday to Thursday that are usually cheaper, and the afternoon and morning flights are also cheaper. Night flights are usually the most expensive. Now a cool tip that we like to give, I'll even advance it, it's the one about water, the one we give to the whole of Europe. For those who don't know, when you arrive in Europe and ask for a bottle of water and you are in a restaurant, we did that the first time that we didn't know, they bring you a beautiful 1 liter glass bottle. The problem is that it costs around 7 euros more or less for a natural bottle of water at the restaurant or the bar. So think 7 euros for lunch, for dinner during all the days of the trip. For several people it's very expensive. In the end you will spend more than 25 euros per day on water. So our tip is you do not need to ask for a bottle of water, just ask for tap water, which is their tap water that they are super used to there, and they drink water from the tap, so there's no problem and it's free. You don't pay anything for it. So don't fall for the foolishness of asking for the bottle of water, which is much more expensive, and drink your water for free and you will save about 30 euros really. Athens, it's super quiet. On their larger islands too, Santorini, Mykonos, also in theory it's drinkable, no problem. Now if you go to a more remote island, somewhere different, a deserted island, somewhere far from the mainland, then you'd better make sure you have a bottle of water so you don't have any health problems related to that. Another tip that's very important is travel insurance, which for those who don't know is mandatory for Greece and for almost all European countries. You are required to have international travel insurance to be able to enter there, but rest assured that travel insurance is cheap. For those who don't know, the insurance covers you for any problem you may have abroad, whether it's medical assistance, medical consultation, hospitalization, surgery, dental assistance. It also covers loss of luggage and several other items, so you travel safe for any unforeseen events that may happen, and it's inexpensive. The only requirement in Europe is that you need travel insurance in order to enter the country, which has medical assistance that charges at least $30,000. So if you have insurance with this assistance, you will be fine. Our tip is use the travel insurance comparator. It's the place that has the best price. For those who don't know, it's a very good tool. I'll leave the link here in the video description. It compares the price in all best travel insurance companies in the market and shows you the best prices. The prices are very good. Practically nobody has cheaper prices than this comparator. We have done a lot of research over the years and it's by far the place that has the best price, and it's super fast. In 5 minutes you go in, get the contract, print the policy and take it with you, and that's it. Another good tip to save money is that in Greece you will probably visit the Greek islands. The main city is Athens, but also the other cities that are more touristy and where people stay longer are the islands: Santorini, Mykonos, Greta, and Zakynthos. And to go to them you have two options. Usually people already think of the plane, which is the fastest way, but there's a cheaper way, which is the ferries. It's very good. We practically only use the ferries and they make you save a little bit, and it's very easy. It's a big ship that you get on and it transports you to the islands. It takes a little longer than the airplane, but it's easier and cheaper. We ended up saving a lot, so check your itinerary, but there are ferries to all the islands. They have a lot of ferries there. It's very common. Take a look. We'll leave it here below in the description of the video too, the website that it's the biggest ferry seller in Europe. There you can see all the routes and companies and you can see the price. They're very good. We ended up buying all the ferries on this side. We got there, always used it without any problem presenting the voucher, and it was very easy. We got to the islands very fast. We also get a lot of tips from other countries in Europe to save money with the train, because they have very cheap train tickets. The train works very well in Europe. The train there is sensational and it's fast, it's high speed, it's comfortable, it's safe, it's very easy to use, and it has very good price. We always recommend it, but as in Greece the main city is Athens and the rest are the islands, you will hardly use the train there. But if you're going to another place in Europe, take a look at the trains. That's a cool tip. I'll leave it here below, also in the description. There's also the train searcher, which is sensational and very cheap. Now talking about transportation, let's take the hook from the ferry and the trains. There's also something about the islands. In Athens you don't need to rent a car, you can go anywhere by Uber, taxi, it's very easy. But on the islands it's highly recommended to rent a car. Renting a car on the islands is very cheap because there are smaller and larger car rental companies, several types, and you can negotiate and the prices are good. It's not expensive, even more if you have more than one person, two people you can share. If they are 3 or 4 people, then it's much cheaper and the public transportation on the islands is a little chaotic. The buses, we saw the motorcycle taxis, we found it a little bit confusing and even dangerous, so we think it's very good to have rented the cars on the islands, and it's very worthwhile because we say island and it seems that the island is small, but they are not. The islands are huge, especially the more touristy ones, so the car helped a lot. So we found it very important to rent a car on the island, and it's not expensive. A tip: you need to have the PID in theory, which is the international driver's license, which is super easy. If you Google PID in your city, in your state, many times you can even do it online and you get basically your driver's license just translated into English to be international. So if you want, you can get one guaranteed, but at the time they didn't ask for my license, so it varies a lot. In Greece, in theory, they need it, it's required, but in practice, nobody asked me, but I thought it was better to take it with me. There are people who reported that they have already been asked, so it's very fast to drive there, and the car was very good because the most famous beaches on these islands are very far away. It takes about 40 minutes driving, 30 minutes, so the car helped a lot to get to the paradisiacal beaches that are the most famous beaches there in the world. When you start researching, you will already see, and the gold tip to save money on car rental is make a reservation in advance. Don't leave it to be done on the spot because it's more expensive. And the tip: use the comparator, guys. It exists just like the travel insurance one. There's a car comparator that's sensational. It compares all car rental companies and shows you the best prices. You will save a lot. Use the comparator, people. I'll leave here below in the description of the video. These comparators are really what makes your trip much cheaper, and they have the best prices and super reliable because they are the biggest ones in the world. This tip to also do things in advance also applies to the tickets for the attractions, but for Greece I won't go into it so much because there aren't many tickets, there aren't many paid things for you to do. In Athens there is the Acropolis, which is sensational, and you have to buy a ticket. On the islands there are few things or other, but most of them are beaches, so you will visit a lot, you will get to know the cities, but there are not so many attractions, so you will save a lot of money on that. If you go to Italy, to Barcelona, you will have to spend a lot of money with the tickets to the museums, to the attractions. Not in Greece, everything is more beachy, the city itself, the architecture of the place, so don't worry. For the few tickets you need, buy them beforehand and you will end up saving. Many people ask, we buy from a very good site. They are one of the biggest resellers in Europe. I'll leave the link down below in the description. Check it out. It has all the tickets to the tours, the excursions to the islands and to the cities. Take a look, it's a very good site. The shopping tip, we always give the shopping tip for the other countries in Europe, but we skip Greece because there is practically no place to shop. There's no shopping, no big stores. In Athens you can still find one thing or another, but in the islands it's much more difficult. You will buy more souvenirs, some handicrafts and something like that. A cool tip is also the internet chip. For those who don't know, when you go abroad, in order to use your cell phone, you need to have, if you don't want to use your plan activating the international roaming because it's really expensive, it costs a fortune. So the best way by far is to buy a prepaid international chip. You can buy it there at the place that we don't recommend because if you spend time, you have to go to the store speaking Greek or English with them. It's very difficult. There's a very good website of the chip that we use in all of our chips that we buy. I'll leave here in the description below also because everybody ends up ordering and they deliver very fast. You enter the site, buy quickly, and the chip arrives with all the instructions you need. You activate it, put it in, and when you get there you are already good to use your phone. And using the cell phone there on the islands was really helpful. It's essential to locate yourself, to use the GPS, search for information and things like that. So check it out. The chip ends up being much cheaper and much more practical. It ends up saving you from a lot of trouble. Guys, any doubts you may have, any help you may need, you can send it to us and we'll be glad to help you. If you want it even easier, add us on Instagram at @PaiLorenzi, send us a direct message and I'll gladly help you. And take the time to follow us there. We are always traveling around the world, trying to show travel tips in a very nice way and the family routine with our little one. And soon we'll be living in Orlando, so we'll be able to show you everything, the routine, the trips. We'll keep traveling the world, so be sure to follow us there. It's gonna be very nice. A cool tip, Greece includes many beaches. The beaches are usually a little isolated and the beaches usually have one or another little shop or bar. Sometimes they don't even have stalls that sell anything, so the tip is buy something in the market or when you arrive at the hotel, buy some things like soda, juice, snacks, food, drinks, wine, whatever you need to take to the beaches, because the beaches are really very far away and it's very complicated to find a nice place to buy your stuff, and when you do, the price is a little bit high. So you want to save some money? Take your small bag, your cooler, and whatever you need to save a lot on the tours, but you won't spend much on the beaches. There's really nothing to buy around the place. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel because it helps us a lot. And be sure to watch the video on how to save... No, wait. This is the video on how to save a lot. Wow. And here on the side, I'll leave the playlist with all the other videos from Greece for you to watch. Thank you very much, guys, and have nice trips.